All right. Well, now there should be sound. So for those of you on the recording, welcome. For those of you live, also welcome. Today is Wednesday Live with Evie. This is number 46, and today's topic is how far you've come versus how far you have to go. And for those of you who don't know me, my name's Evie Burke, and I work with entrepreneurs and I help them take their productivity to a new level. So at the end of the day, they can be present with the people that they choose to spend their evenings or their off work time with, and not have to worry about what didn't get done or what needs to get done or how they're going to meet their goals, because they have it all taken care of. They know what's going to be done tomorrow. They know how they're going to keep track of it. They know what their goals are, and they know that they're making progress on their goals every single day. So, Heather, I'm glad you can hear me now. So today we're talking about how far you've come versus how far you have to go. And I started thinking about this topic because I was thinking about years in the past where I've been reluctant sometimes to think about setting goals for the coming year, because I didn't want to look back at how the previous year had gone. For me, that's always a part of goal setting, and looking forward is looking also back at how things have gone and what worked and what didn't work. And there have been some years in the past where it felt like there was a whole lot that didn't work and not a whole lot that did work. And I didn't want to go down that lane and look at all of the things that didn't work, because it felt like there was so much more that didn't work than did. And the other part to this can be the part to not wanting to do the goal setting can be being stressed and frustrated, thinking about what your goals are and trying to figure out, how am I ever going to reach those goals? You know, you have dreams, you have ideas, you have places that you see yourself and your business, and sometimes it can feel like that's so far from where you currently are that you might not want to goal set. You're like, I'll just concentrate on today and take what comes, you know, as it comes. And that's not always real helpful either. So today I want to talk about, first of all, I want to say a word about failure, about the things that didn't go well. And I know I did a whole topic on this earlier this year, and I think failure is a wonderful thing, because failure is data. Failure tells you this didn't work, and it lets you learn what didn't work and adjust so you can figure out what might work better in the future. People who, I always laugh a little bit when, to myself, or smile to myself, maybe is a better way to put it, when people say failure is not an option. And I smile to myself, because if failure is not an option, then maybe you're not trying enough new things. If you're never failing, then maybe there's some more ways you can push yourself, because failure is so important to businesses. Yes, success is great, but failure is good too, because failure gives you that information. It means that you're trying new things. If you want the full diatribe explanation, go and look in the archives for the one on failure. So I want to talk a little bit more about how far you've come versus how far you have to go. And I've been reading, I'm not very far through it yet. Sorry, I'm just grabbing it. I don't know. Yeah, it even comes up the right way. High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. And in it, he tells the story, and I'm going to get the details not exact, so if you're interested in it, it's toward the beginning of this book. But he talks about two entrepreneurs that he met when he was traveling. And it was one entrepreneur that he met, and he was talking with this entrepreneur. I think he was on an airplane, so he was just talking to the person next to him in both stories. And for one of them, he was talking to this guy who had just started a new business, and he was so frustrated because he was talking about all of the hurdles that he had to overcome and how difficult it was going to be to to reach the goals that he set, and all of the things that he had to overcome to reach that goal. And he was looking forward, but he was looking at how far he had to go before he reached his goals. And then there was another entrepreneur that he was talking to, and this entrepreneur happened to be a woman, and she was so excited about her business, and she talked about how far she had come, the progress that she had made, and how excited she was to be at the point that she was right now, and how excited she was to go for the goals that she had set for herself. And Brendan pointed out that there were two main differences between these two entrepreneurs. And he said that one of the entrepreneurs was going to be around in 2 or 3 years still. They were going to have a thriving business, and it was going to go great for them. And he predicted that the second business, or the other business, was not going to be around, and would fold, and things probably wouldn't go so well for them in the future. Now, the business that he predicted that would do very well was the woman who was really excited and was talking about, these are the things that we've done, and I'm really excited for the future. And the difference was she was focusing on how far she had come, the progress she had made, and she was using that to motivate her to reach for the new goals that she had set for herself, versus the other entrepreneur who wasn't thinking about how far he had come. All he was thinking about was how far I have to go. And he maybe didn't have a lot of motivation. In one of the, in some of the work that I do, some of the mindset work that I do, the other way to look at this is the guy was more focused on, what's the word I want to, he was more in the stress of it. He was more at, look at all this work that I have to do. He was more focused on maybe the general way that people tend to approach things in corporate, where I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this, and it's so much work, right? Well, the woman was approaching it differently. She was coming to it with more energy. She was looking at the possibilities, right? She was looking at, look at the progress that I've made, and look at the fun things that I get to do in the future. And there's a mindset difference there, right? There's a different perspective in just overall outlook. And even if you would look at their body language or the energy that they're exuding, I'm sure that the person who was like, oh, I have all of this stuff to do, and there's just so much work, and blah, 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 right? They're hunched over, they're not excited, they're frustrated, they're stressed out. Well, the woman, she's excited about it. She's like, look at all these things I have to do, like, right? Even if you just think about saying I'm so busy with the different body language, like, oh, I'm so busy versus, oh, I am so busy. It changes with the body language, right? Just the feel of it changes. So my missive, is that the word I'm looking for? My goal, my hope for you is that as you're going into goal setting for 2018, if you haven't already done it, that you can look at the failure and embrace it and learn from it, and notice how far you've come. For those things that you tried that didn't go well, would you have even thought to even try doing those things a year ago, 2 years ago? That's a success right there, that you went out on the limb and you tried those things that didn't work. Look at how far you've come, that you're able to try some of those things. Look at what you want to accomplish in the future and get excited about it. Feel that excitement. Feel how fun it will be to reach those goals and accomplish those things that you want to accomplish, right? So notice those things. So as you're looking back at what worked and what didn't work, just notice how far you've come and use that to propel you into the future. use that to propel you into what are the things that you want to do next year? What are the things you want to try next year? And maybe word it like that. It doesn't have to be accomplished, but what are the things you want to try? Just so that you can experience them. What are those things? And write those down and track those. So it's a little shorter Wednesday Live with Evie today. I do want to make an announcement though. Those of you in my Facebook group might have already seen this. You might know that a couple of times a year or so, I do this program called Take Your Productivity to a New Level. It's a 4-week productivity mastery class. And this program really sets you up with a solid foundation for getting your stuff done and meeting your goals. And I know that in December, people have a lot going on. So you might have, just listened to the topic for today and you're thinking, well, that's great, but I don't really have time right now to sit down and plan out 2018. And that's fine. Just start milling it about. Just start thinking about what are the things that you want to accomplish in 2018. But right now, you might not have time just to sit down and plot all of that out, right? You have a lot of other things that you're choosing to spend your time on. And taking a couple of hours to plan out 2018 or even make any changes to the way that you currently approach the day or what your productivity currently is, making any changes like that might just feel overwhelming and maybe just not be the right time. So instead of trying to make time or find time for one more program or one more training in December, why don't you schedule it for January? Get it on your calendar now, pay for it now, so that you know that you have it taken care of in January and you'll be in a good spot in January to start implementing these changes. So the Take Your Productivity to a New Level program is a 4-week program, and in it you learn the basics of productivity. You learn about to-do lists and goal setting, about how to stay focused, about minimizing distractions. You learn about learning from your procrastination and preventing procrastination. You learn more about how your mindset affects your productivity and your goals. And you learn a lot about why self-care is so important. And you start to take steps and implement the things that you've been learning so that your to-dos get done. You have goals that are actionable and are top of mind for you, so that you can stay focused and you are taking care of yourself. So if this is a program that sounds interesting to you, if this is something that you want to set yourself up with in 2018 and know that you're set, that you have it under control, you can reserve it now. For people who sign up before December 29th, they'll get a couple of bonuses. So the first 4 people who sign up will get their own versions of the notebooks I use. So you'll get your own, it won't look like this, but you'll get your own Circa notebook binder. You'll get just a regular notebook, and again, it won't look exactly like this, but you'll get a small journal to keep your to-dos in. So the first 4 people who sign up will get those. That's about a $40 value. So that's a nice little bonus. And everybody who signs up before December 29th will also get mini assignments from me. So weekly mini email assignments from me that will really put you ahead of doing the assignments during the program. So you'll already have thought some of these things through. So the assignments will just go a little bit quicker for you. And you'll get a private 45-minute session with me after the program finishes. And so you can use that to solidify your goals, strategize on places you're stuck, or review and receive feedback on what your plan is for 2018. So head over, I'll pop the link below. Head over to oneinsightcloser.com/TPNL and sign up for it right now. It doesn't list the bonuses, but they are there. You will receive them. And this is a small group program, so there is space for 15 people, and 2 of the spaces are already taken. So if this is something that you want, grab that now, because you might not have, there might not be space later. So I hope you, if this is a good fit, I hope you join me. So this was Wednesday Live with Evie, number 46. How far you've come versus how far you have to go. And my parting shot, that's not quite the word I'm looking for, but just the thing I want to leave you with is use the information of how far you've come, use that excitement, look at how far you've come, and use that to propel yourself forward, because that's a really powerful place to be coming from, is using all of that knowledge of what you've done and how much you've already accomplished to push yourself forward. So until next week, much love.